Yanko Honorable Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa, MP for Northtown, Minority Spokesperson on Foreign Affairs, former Deputy Education Minister. Enono, yanine eni nkomo. Honorable Memwachi.
Yo mejo so many bibia boko.
Boko na also
Nyamiadom.
To start with, Enwa Independence Day celebration, that 67th Independence Day celebration. Minority mom na shebedwam. Ye mum wase.
Yeah, enokre we share the relevance of independence. Every time I mention for nyina. We share the relevance of independence. We share the your nation's founder, Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Yokaye, in his Independence Day speech, 6 March 1957. Okay, say independence where you are secure. No, it is to inspire the black race, and it is to prove that the black man is capable of managing his own affairs. It is to present a new African personality. It is to ensure that living conditions are improved and that the dignity of the black man is restored. We share all of these profound statements by the founder of our nation. Nasser, on that day, 6 March 2024, President Akufo-Addo Kase Obe commissioned what he described as his priority of priorities as his most important project. And yet, on that day, he was hoping, say, Yenyina be risi. He was hoping, say, all the scandals that have attended upon this project, Menkai in the history of our country, any projector, you started here even based on deception. So, you're using more taxes, where private contributions from individuals, Christopher, sorry, international fundraising. We are not going to touch your taxes. Projector, Public Procurement Authority, the laws have been breached. I did a right to information request to them 4th July 2022. I'm responding 5th July 2022. I say, hey, your pacho project way there, you know who Rebade JV, the contractor, we don't have him in our records. There's no information. The Public Procurement Act violently violated. Then the Constitution of Ghana, you cannot withdraw public funds without Parliament's knowledge, without Parliament's approval. Now, as the president told the Ghanaian people, told the clergy, and even some of these important clergymen put their reputation on the line. Therefore, Archbishop Duncan Williams saying that Ghanaians, we are not using your taxes. Everybody, shut up. Don't criticize this project. The government has assured us we are not using taxes. Only for me to start intercepting documents.
Honorable!
1.5 million. Up to 339 million, $58.1 million.
Honorable, for the Independence Day celebration, say Omai de kai enye a particular government. Omai de kai a bra ye di na edu wana ye introspection of ourselves. So where did we go wrong? Said you're okay. Indeed, Cathedral non was the reason to a mobile boycott.
A very significant reason, and it is part of our reflection. And it was an accountability mission. Minia yesika David Ajayi kwa yamano $19.6 million, 250 million Ghana cedis. David Ajayi kwa ye retrieve sasikana ye betu media ye niema bebre, which will enhance our independent status. Or mind where you womb, you know, Cassas say, Oko 37 MRI machine, Nejuma, rich, same. Oko Confuanoche, the 1.5 dialysis machines. Many hospitals without incubators. Okola, their general hospital, which was demolished, has still not been replaced. There are serious issues in this country bordering on the preservation of life. People are dying because of 4 million. 19 people died at Kolebu. Enti the and Drano. Now yes, Juma. Sebi yanko abia cafeteria bi konum tea and beer baby. Even though me, I don't drink, I've never drank in my life. That's not what we did. We decided, say, we will walk to the Cathedral, the world's most expensive pit, and we will go and demand accountability. Have a media engagement on that significant day. Not only on Independence Day, but also the day our President Oshebo to the Almighty, to Parliament, and to the Ghanaian people say, Obe commission that project. To demand retrievals of our monies. Carrie Summers, who is keeping our $6 million. Reverend Victor Kusibuati Kwabne Edujemfi are 2.6 million Ghana cedis. To demand a closure of that secretariat, which has so far received 225 million of our taxes. A dissolution of the board. A termination of the contract. Because what kind of contract now? 2 years now that the contractor is not working. And even that itself is a major scandal. How is it?
Now,
how possible, sir? Minia,
okay.
Your projector, Sika Bibre, I won't say, even though they are illegal withdrawals, $58 million, and yet 2 years ago, contractor no abandoned site for lack of payment. Entina Sika no kohin. Why did the contractor abandon site 2 years ago? In the abundance of all of this money, this illegal withdrawal, and we have traced, we have followed the money, and it is clear. David Ajay, $19.6 million. Carrie Summers, $6 million. We have tracked. And what we did, it is also our way of commemorating the day, reflecting on the day. And yet to me, a mounting pressure, now you retrieve all of these millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of Ghana cedis from these individuals who have no business keeping our money now. Sasikano, you better meet the Niyama Papa. We are very proud of the way you commemorate the day.
Okay. Now, Mami Usadio, some even say, yeah, National Day like the Independence Day. Maybe a mine sabre mi fancy be crab be anamo penso na sabre na do so was no. Is the reason so betting ya can say, okay, do so so until that day no, yes to be a protest in commemoration say Independence Day, but you do so man now be a calamity be I be following us as a nation. Now ye jawo, but National Day no to say Independence Day no, you bet me I a reflection on that.
Oh, certainly, why not?
Okay.
Rabia Niho say on any day of national commemoration, a holiday, you cannot have a media engagement. You cannot go to a construction site where your money is being sunk, albeit in a very wasteful way. There's no law stopping you. And Mekai, if you look at their history, Abakosam, there have been numerous holidays. Even when NDC was in power, now NPP in power, that citizens have carried out one public manifestation or the other, no matter how they are called, whether it is Occupy, whether it is Fix the Country. There's so many groups and actions on my end, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, Miankasa as a former CJ activist, as a former president of the National Union of Ghana Students, we've carried out many manifestations. Mekai under President Kufuor, when we were opposed to ROPA, I led demonstrations, and it's part of our democratic culture. It's actually a culture, as I say, you encourage it. It helps the health of our country and our democracy.
Okay. Now, my name is a question. And you know, Moko Pano, down the potty pa, then the CEO, Moko do one.
Enti sana ye flyer na ye de told you indicate you know. Ye call on that significant day, the day for commissioning. Ye call say ye need century for coding in Kitaho. Ye pese ye interact with the media. Na ye because through the media, Ghana for what has happened to their taxes. $58.1 million. And yet what we see is an abandoned site, the world's most expensive pit. And ye koho se, ye pese Ghana for you now muhu the ekoso. Number two, ye pese Ghana for you na omu and joining yen, omu supporting yen, na yen retrieve ye sika, which have found their way into the wrong pockets. Number three, Osha Krata ye kanye, we had 13 demands. Ebini se, ye pese National Cathedral Board of Trustees no ye dissolving. Ye pese Secretariat no we want to shut down because 2 years now no construction going on and yet we are paying people. So far, Osha Secretariat Sika Yasende Ho, which has gone their way, 225 million Ghana cedis. 225 million Ghana cedis to the Secretariat. They cannot deny that. We are also demanding, sir, the contract should be terminated. When I say contract is a very bad contract. All this while a contractor no onye juma, nothing is going on. We are incurring cost as a nation.
Cost as in what?
Because OSHA contract now, you free BB suspension time claims. Into what suspended a juma and cost no ubetiaka. You waiting time.
Me ba me bo. A juma ni na she contract ni mu.
Yes.
It ye tua cash can ye free in the tua from consolidated fund or where?
Your taxes. Your taxes. Menewo ena ye tua. That is a fact. Nobody can deny that. That is a fact. And apart from extension of time claims, standing time claims, there were abortive and reworks costs due to suspension of the contractor. Because
I contract with why any 1 year.
Many send you a copy.
But you
send you a copy. Board of trustees no almost sign here. The contractor Everybody, which is a joint venture between Resign, the Echa, Babisoti, and Adisimoni. It's a mercenary contract.
Okay.
It's a really terrible contract. Intia na ye demand say, as I say, almost terminating contract, almost abrogated. And yes, sir, as long as this contract this contract is alive.
But maybe there is a clause in the contract that won't be abrogated so easily.
Yeah, they always try to do that, but it's better to sit and negotiate and explore that option than to play ostrich, pretend say won't sign a contract way, and then what is happening is we are incurring more cost. The other demand and say Cathedral Secretariat way, 24th January 2023, more than a year ago, and Omu issue statement say Omu invited Deloitte to come and audit their accounts because of all the scandals, all the exposés. No, they want an audit, and that was after Archbishop Duncan Williams and a Reverend Sud Anaba also sent in a joint memo demanding that audit. More than a year now, Minia, that audit has not been published. Recently, Bryce Simmons of Imani or reveal is there. Audit now we know a bon kind. But it has to be published. That was the promise they made on the 24th of January 2023. It is our audit no way. Ubekaya, that was the reason stated by Archbishop Duncan Williams and Reverend Anaba for resigning. Say, or more chasing audit nessa, or more bisa the outcome of the audit nessa, they are not getting any response, and they cannot sacrifice their reputations into Omoko. Obekaya, Bishop Dakiwad Mills, on also resigning, or see, it appears there is a real board, a real cabal somewhere in charge of the project, because key decisions didn't come to the board. The location, the demolitions, the choice of architect, choice of contractor, and yet board decided in Bishop Dakiwad Mills' resignation letter. Until we are demanding, sir, this audit must be published. We are also demanding, sir, all the private fundraising on 1 year, America, because we call America honor. I was shocked, scandalized. Address is all fake. You have a different group of people who are signatories to the account. They have never declared how much they have raised. They've never filed their taxes. It's just a mess.
Now, are you
campaigns? They have never accounted. We demand to know how much has been raised so far.
Baba,
we are also demand. Yeah.
Now, me put a question. Sir, are you saying it seems the board of trustees, their silence is too loud enough. Bra mo be beside these questions. Good
question. And it's in one of our demands. Conflict of interest angle, the Reverend Kusi Boating Kwabena Edujemfi aspect of this whole scandal. Media call Shraj. Into one of our demands, appeal to Shraj to expedite action. Because Shraj, petition Shraj 16 January last year. A Chekra Dodo. We have appealed to Shraj, said they need to, as a matter of urgency, publish the outcome of their investigations. Then we have also said, sir, parliamentary probe, may file a motion. Speaker admitted, sir, it's a competent motion. We debated it as a house. We all passed a resolution that this is a serious matter. I mean, the monies involved is not a joke. There's virtually no project on that scale. As I said, probe assembly. Meanwhile, will you believe, sir, after we've passed this resolution, our NDC side of the house, you have submitted the names. The NPP side, up to now, more than 6 months, they are refusing to present the names of the members of the committee to the speaker. More than 6 months. Why are they sabotaging the parliamentary probe? This is unpatriotic. It is undemocratic. It is unforgivable. It is condemnable. And we are demanding, sir, constituents of these MPs, these NPP MPs, will mount pressure and will make it a condition even for voting for them in the next election. Sir, they must do what is right to God and to country and make sure they submit their names for this probe. Even though if this continues, we will go ahead and have a one-sided probe. Nothing stops us, nothing in our standing order stops us from doing that. Because Obekaya, 2013, after the 2012 elections, MPP for court, said they are challenging the results of the election. They said they will not give President Mahama legitimacy until they won't participate in the vetting of his ministers. It was a one-sided committee and a year in Ejima. As for boycotting committees and work, there's precedence. When you do that, the work must continue. We have served notice. The last time Minority Leader Honorable Atu Keso Barfosin served notice. If they don't present their names, enough of the sabotage, we will go ahead and have the probe. These are the demands I are making, including calling for a national debate, a national discussion on what should happen to that site. Already TUC4, a very nice idea about a hospital. Others are talking about pediatrics. We don't have a specialist children's hospital and all of that. Let's have a national debate on the way forward. But it is important, sir, there ought to be retrievals. There ought to be prosecutions for causing financial loss to the state. And these are the demands we are making. Look, we are not going to allow this situation where you hard earned taxes, a country that is desperately seeking an IMF bailout, a country that has been declared bankrupt, declared insolvent, a country carrying out a domestic debt exchange program, or BIA financial haircut, because this economy has been so mismanaged, and yet we can afford to be so wasteful. There is absolutely no way that all of this, and many discussions where you know, $58 million now, you can want them. Only say it does not include the cost of demolitions and compensation. All the property owners whose properties have been demolished, they are entitled to compensation. We haven't added the cost to that. Anti-Comsys IT firm, I demolish your headquarters. Menewo, the taxpayers, and I the compensation. Waterstone Realty Apartment Complex, Court demanding over $6 million. Menewo ena yebetia. Judicial Training Institute, which was demolished. Former Chief Justice, the budget he put together to replace it, $50 million. You and I are going to pay for that. I mean, look at the levels of recklessness. Passport officer, demolished here. 10 million cedis has been spent trying to get a new one. Scholarship Secretariat, demolished. Judges' bungalows, demolished. And the cost of housing the judges, replacing their buildings, I mean, incredible. The level of recklessness, Minia, in this broke country, it is shocking.
Now, Abani,
for shrine, Minia demolished.
Abani,
Malian ambassador, the resident, was demolished.
Oh,
Meneo Casas is also or trying the compensation. I see recently now, or more children or assassin airport residential. When you know Meneo and I mean, why? Bonnie Benaye. Why?
But on a way, elsewhere. One cathedral, no. One the core outskirts of the town. Maybe a woman develop. Main fan say, baby to say a fan Dubai for a Expo City. One baby I'm cosin.
Yeah, you're right. Dubai crowd they say what coachre. Ivory Coast higher. Sana president February so yeah. You know.
Then watch it you crow.
Cathedral. It was the same thing. I mean, Omaya, you see, we already have an infrastructure deficit. I just say infrastructure now you want, structures now you want, and so we need more. We need more judges' bungalows. We need more structures for businesses, for shops to house our people. And the few we have now, look, even the significance. Look at a place like Scholarship Secretariat. Ghana for Kukudam who have gone there receive scholarship. Elsewhere, no, it will be a protected facility. Demolition, no respect for heritage, for history, for significant buildings, nothing. And you ask yourself, look at Internal Bishop Dak. He plays on record to protect his reputation, sir. And your mona see that location. It didn't come to the board. President Shell or catch or say or no there we're choosing a location, we're choosing the contractor, we're choosing the architect. I mean, so why did you set up the board? Why do you put such respected clergymen together just to disgrace them? Why? It's even you just look. It looks like just a moment of madness. You just can't believe what is happening. Your analysis now. This $450 million cost, and by the time I be replacing all the structures which have been demolished, this project will be more than $1 billion. Where are we going to get this money from? And is this money we should be spending on this? I mean, you just can't believe it. And Obia Ayedin, imagine say Minia a NDC leader. NDC President Bio and a Wakwako Bubu judges are dying. Akwako demolish judges' bungalows. Akwako demolish Judicial Training Institute. On him say in the process, an appeal court judge, Justice Said, or Resign. He was so upset, so angry. He was just asking for a few more days to move because now Niyere had gone through surgery. What kind of ordeal, what he went through, you will weep. He resigned. We lost him. Obia Ghana Bar Association, our Wardeno, as one of the most upright judges this country has ever seen. We lost him. We lost him on the bench. And what is this? Can you imagine if it was an NDC leader who did this? They will have said, hey, judiciary under attack. There will be no peace in this country. And they expect, say, those of us who have been elected to carry out oversight, to make sure that there's checks and balances and we protect the public purse. They expect us to also join them to play ostrich and to be quiet. It's not going to happen.
Other way. One was said budget November. It was silent on National Cathedral and the first was seen.
I am not surprised that it was silent because Obekaya previous year budget, they made an attempt, say, this time for the first time, or more by allocation in the budget. I think it was about 80 million or so. And both sides, we didn't approve this because, like I said, it doesn't sit well with our conscience. How is it that all these scandals, all these diversions, Contractor Nkrumah with free horse, he's not being paid, even though he hears about all these fantastic sums of money. Why should we approve more money into a leaking basket? I'm not surprised I'm buying advice. But what is disappointing, any vetting of the new tourism minister, Madame Fupa.
Japan Mesa Semuma Quine Waba within 8 months, we will see.
I want to take it because the boss, the appointing authority, like I said, this is his priority of priority. In the opposite or Kabibia, a benede. But on one case, 8 months we are or one. It's not possible. He should rather be telling us or best setting up a ministerial committee to probe this matter. Look, I will have thought Krasa or resist it even because when the project we started, it wasn't under the Ministry of Tourism. It was under the presidency. Yet demanding accountability, sir, and just last year, and they found a ministry for it. They put it under the Ministry of Tourism. A lot of the scandals, the diversions, the misappropriation, the legal breaches, it wasn't done by the ministry officials, Ministry of Tourism, because it wasn't under them. I thought, he would have even said, Adiano Crab project no baby a free banukra mufanko. They should take it back. That's what I will have said. The all Canadian, he knows is just because where are they going to get the money from? There's no way Parliament ever approve it. And say the way I alert, any attempt at illegal withdrawals behind the scenes, you've been intercepted documents. We will expose them. How are they going to do that project? And the international community is so embarrassed with what has happened. Nobody is bringing fundraising are collapsing. How is he going to continue that project? He should rather be interested in investigations and retrievals. The $19.6 million, what David Ajay must be retrieved. $6 million at Karisames, $2.6 million at Kusibuati in Kwabne DKC. Those are the things he should focus on. Retrievals.
Okay, now what in common so? Say Africa Games na yeyen. Now no Minister Bebu Akontano. What the $16 million are renovating halls. What Legon. We are 4 halls pe. We are one na tie niema no bia o maye wo de 60 million no wo de bi to mattress and pillows ena o install new wardrobe doors nurse ena safwa na edi bie no ena na leakages bi wo ho ni nyina so o ye ena other form of repair works something we are it was 60 million get me fancy a dime
minia the possible my way mono when him say Morocco or host games way the entire games infrastructure musi operations budget BBA it was just 46 million euros. Now to Ghana so far you spending $243 million. $243 million. Almost say operations budget and $48 million. Over 600 million. Meanwhile, Sika Parliament approved $100 million. More than Mube Kacha say the Muhiano no. For your
Parliament approved $100 million.
$100 million.
Now the account on go way.
Oh, Omu withdraw from your taxes are Minia.
Debbie, but you can't do that without recourse to Parliament. Mibo, you can't do that without recourse to Parliament.
Yes, but so National Cathedral, they are doing the same thing here. They are doing the same thing. I mean, Minia, the country is broken.
But
the level of lawlessness. That's what is happening. Look, I can tell you, sir, already no. 100 million now you approve it. Already they have spent 226 million. The last time in documents intercepted here. And then they are also about to pay another 195 million in the next, either today or tomorrow. They will pay. Tracking up me here. You know, there's no reason.
We are about to pay 105 million to what wine? For what?
Various contractors. And that is another scandal on it. So, Minia, don't worry. And check. I will be publishing even how they selected these companies, these contractors, without recourse to our procurement laws. And we'll be the shocking conflict of interest and all of that.
Now, we'll be sending. We'll be sending me say.
It's another scandal on it.
We'll be sending me say. Say, Nyamia Penamu ba Bemwa. Mube did this. I want you move for be uncle quarto. Munye bibia no man nam ho.
Oh, Minia, some of us have said it. Say, you back power. And if suddenly some of our colleagues think that people should be allowed to go scot-free, because what it means is the Omoa, the MPP for now, yes, so you say you bear the same thing. Some of us will speak out, some of us will resign. And I'm glad, sir, Nano and Chebiana, Samijan Fiso, or serving notice, your back power, and I say, $12 million. No, you're investigating and prosecuting Nkrumah. As our flag bearer promised now, he will resign. I'm sure I'll go first before he follows. Because, look, we are not going to risk our lives. Go through all
so I'm prosecuting apart from a Japanese Nema who was scandals here. You resign as as what? From the party or what?
Everything.
Wow.
Everything. Yes, I mean it. Because the direction of this country, their yes say or mine way, there will be no future.
Yeah, no. You guys will resign and block.
No future.
But you guys, say you will resign and block, and now say individually now mobile resign.
I'm sure it will be individually.
When is Samijan
and then some will join. And they say already, some colleagues are serving notice. Or more join say, a business as usual. Yes, we are back. Ababe looting, Ababe engaging in these atrocities, they say we are serving notice to them that we will not be part of it, and we will not serve in the same administration with them. We mean it. We mean it. Because we are not. Look, the risk involved in some of these exposés and some of the work we are doing in the pursuit of our constitutional mandate of oversight in that House of Parliament We are not joking. It's not just politics. People think that, they want to score political points. It's about our country. It's about country. Somebody must stand up for the country. Share $243 million, what it can do. Look, if we have value for money, recently, Auditor General's report on cocoa roads, or say 87% of the contracts were single source. President Akufo-Addo, Baumia, Ushe, Omu Twitter handles, they were loud. Say, Omuba, single sourcing, sole sourcing will be a thing of the past. Omuaba be 87%. Auditor General say, Omu budgeted 1.31 billion. They ended up spending 10 billion. 10 billion. What is even worse? What is even worse? Sir, clear conflict of interest. Crony companies, OSHA Resources Access Limited, belonging to Abraham Baumia, 83 million contracts. The two contracts, single source, and Auditor General say inflated by 300%. 300%. He said he compared the 87% non-competitive projects with the 13% competitive. And he noticed the single source contracts were 3 times the cost, the actual cost. Inia, how can we develop as a country with all this? If it's a 10-kilometer road, we could have gotten 30 kilometers or more. Adeng, how can we catch up with other developed societies with these kinds of practices? How? You in opposition, you criticize one thing, you come to government and do worse. Adeng.
Now, honorable,
you think like there's no tomorrow.
Maminu, yes, we see. And then let me be a question be. Your independence. Me babusa me na misumba mbebusa ye. I don't know whether who abia. Ye cut the big 6. Ye bo Jekobeche Bilamte, ye bo Akwajeyi, ye bo JB Dankwa, ye bo William Furiata, ni aboko Kwame Nkrumah. Me apart from Kwame Nkrumah na ye ninim ni ho asem kakra no. Omo maka no towards our independence. No omo ye den ya omba ye big 6.
And what is interesting is 1948 riot. Yeah, Kwame Nkrumah. A lot of these people even disown him and distance themselves because Kwame Nkrumah is the troublemaker and all of that. And Kwame Nkrumah, all self-government now, independence now. Others were saying that, take your time, the shortest possible time. Some of them even wrote to the Queen, say, hey, don't be in a hurry to wash your hands off. Did everything to delay and sabotage the process. But look, I'm clear in my mind, sir. History has been kind to Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. And all those who care to read the history and to be objective and to be honest. Kwame Nkrumah, when he formed the CPP, he brought a certain renewed energy, a certain impetus, a certain fervor. It was unparalleled. And touch now.
Mami Radio
or lighty.
Mami Radio, the UGCC. So if you remember best right, one to so de day, nay a political party, and now dear bay, and then also no a beprim him because sat at the time of independence, near to a monkabium. And that's fact, you know, I'm fine. Yeah,
Intiana. Omankasa, they noticed they were becoming unpopular, they were losing relevance. Intiana, Omwa PLA to Kwame Nkrumah. At the time, now, Onuna mobilizing African students in the diaspora. He had done the Paris conference and then he did the 1945 Manchester conference of the West Africa Students Union. And he became the role model for young African people in the diaspora. And they said the kind of inspiration, the kind of force that he represents. Or no a Bagana final and answer or for me on one ne party, he will be unstoppable because the clout that he, because who shared the 1945, all historians agree that Manchester Conference was really the spark that the independence struggle needed. Who shared Nipa Kukuda Momobaho, the African freedom fighters who came there, student activists. It wasn't surprising, with the UGCC going down, losing relevance. They needed Kwame Nkrumah. And that's why he was invited. But also by who said this UGCC is moribund. They are not committed to the struggle. They've lost credibility. And are breaking away to form the CPP. And history now, the Kwame Nkrumah but for him, I don't think that we will have become the first sub-Saharan African country, the first black African country to attain independence in 1957. What he did, which at the time was considered impossible by even some of his own peers and other Africans elsewhere, and Nona inspire others, Nigeria, Munyana, Senegal, Cameroon, all of them, to then see that it is possible to fight for independence and be victorious. Then, also, Kwame Nkrumah there, I always say he's peerless, he's matchless. Indiana BBC listeners, they voted him. And remember, he was in the category of people like Nelson Mandela, African greats like Wole Soyinka. All of these African greats, and yet he was voted as the man of the millennium, not the century, millennium. And look, all over the world, I think that the jury has returned with a unanimous verdict. Say, Kwame Nkrumah is matchless, he's peerless, and we all have to be inspired by his legacy.
OKFM 101.7.